This is a reflection of life lessons Jessica learned from her first job out of college. It is speech number 2 in the coaching path, and it is called A Journey to Professional Happiness. Jessica Diehl.
When you were young boys and girls growing up, did your parents and teachers tell you that you could do and be anything?
Oh, yeah.
Did they tell you what was most important was your happiness, and to choose a job that would make you happy? And at what point did you all learn that this was a load of crap? Our teachers and parents made it out to sound so simple, but the University of Hard Knock Life would teach us different, or at least it did for me. I had several rather unhealthy misconceptions about what the working world owed me. And yeah, I said owed me. I know this sounds incredibly egocentric, but as a 22-year-old professional fresh out of college who was still trying to wrap my head around what a 40-hour work week actually entailed, I had this incredibly naive misconception of what the world owed me. That wherever I worked, and they would be so lucky to have me, obviously, would try to make my time there enjoyable and fun, and above all else, make me happy. Because that's what I learned when I was a child by my parents and teachers, that in my work, I was meant to be happy. As you might already guess, my false beliefs in the working space really ended up smacking me in the face. Limerick not intended. I am going to reflect on some harsh lessons I had to learn from my first job out of college. And there were 3 main lessons I learned that ended up being the foundation of my professional success. The first lesson, you are entitled to nothing. This is actually a really hard lesson for me to swallow. I had a father who told me growing up, you're a princess and you deserve the world. That didn't fly that well in the working world. So my self-entitled disposition came to a head pretty quickly in my first job. Although I was deemed as being charming and poised, I learned early on that I had to be a little bit more than that in order to succeed professionally. So through some trial and error, I learned that I also had to be tenacious and commit to excellence every day. This new mindset I took on stretched me to my limits and ended up teaching me so much. Now, when I find myself slipping into the rather unhealthy mindset now while I'm at work, thinking, I don't deserve this, this isn't fair, I remind myself of a specific quote that said, a strong woman will look a challenge in the eye and give it a wink. And this serves as a reminder to me that no matter the challenges that come my way, I got this, and I'm also entitled to nothing. Lesson number 2, expectations can lead to disappointment. I had the expectations that I would skyrocket through my career, that in the first year, I would have a dramatic salary increase, a promotion, and of course the respect and admiration of all my colleagues. The reality was so much lower than I expected. In fact, I felt like I needed more. So, of course, my entitlement lesson hadn't kicked in yet, obviously. I remember walking in to my 6th-month review, first one ever, and I walked in like I owned that room. I was ready to accept my salary increase. So expectation, self-entitlement was riddled over my face. I sat in front of my boss, and he began talking. And he was saying, Jessica, you did fine this past 6 months. Notice he didn't say good, he said fine. I'll take it. He also was super vague about any sort of feedback. So he didn't provide anything constructive, which to me at that time meant, obviously I'm a rock star. I'm giving him no reason to say anything bad about me or any area I need to work on. So I'm nailing it. I am ready to accept this salary increase. He continues the conversation. And he said, Jessica, so because of your performance, I want to give you an hourly increase of 3%. 3%? What is that? What does that equate to? That sounds like nothing. 3%. I'm internalizing this and trying to keep my composure. I politely, I hope, asked my boss, what is 3% actually look like? He begins to say, Jessica, you would go from $15 an hour to $15.45 an hour. 45 cents more. I'm thinking, as he continues talking, I'm like, 45 cents. A mere 45 cents an hour. That's what I worked for. What does that translate to? Let's do the math right now. I sit there doing the math. 45 cents an hour, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks out of the month. That equates to like $70-ish. I'm just rolling in the cash now. Mom and Dad, look at me now. Obviously, I didn't hide the displeasure on my face very well from my boss. And he said, look, Jessica, 3% is a fine increase when the average is 2%. I mumbled, thank you, didn't sound super sincere. And this pay increase didn't make me any happier either. Lesson number 3, only you can create your own happiness. This was probably the most challenging lesson I had to learn, both personally and professionally. That I was in charge of my own happiness. Not my environment, not my work, not my boss, but me. My work didn't owe me happiness, but I could find reasons to be happy at work. So it really just took for me to make an intentional effort, have a grateful mindset, and it just really simply depended on myself. For the young professionals entering into the rather intimidating professional world, I would remind them that you are entitled to nothing. Be patient and persistent, and remember to create your own happiness. This might serve them as being the foundation to their professional success too.